Today's Drip Path devotional comes from Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 35. It says, "You've been taught that the Lord alone is God. There is no other beside him." And these are the words of Moses to the people of Israel. And keep in mind, Deuteronomy is kind of Moses' farewell address to these people. Moses is one of them. And God called him to lead them out of slavery in Egypt. I mean, ultimately, God's the one who does it, but Moses is his servant in that process, and so Moses and the Israelites, they saw God's power on display in freeing them from the Egyptians. He saw how God shut the door when the Egyptians pursued them to keep the Egyptians from getting to them, and also kind of shutting the door from the Israelites just being able to turn around and go right back to Egypt. They went to the Mount Sinai and they saw God's power on the mountain when God gave them the law. They saw God's power and wisdom and even his discipline and his love for them as they wandered through the wilderness. And now here they were at the doorstep of the promised land where they've been journeying to all these years. And Moses is simply telling them, remember the God who got you here. You have been taught that this Lord is God, that this is God alone. This God that's shown you all these things. There's no one else beside him. And God did that. God revealed himself through all those powerful acts to the Israelites so that they would always know that how powerful their God is, that he is for them, and that he is worthy of their worship. You see, you and I, we've gone through many things in our lives. We've had many ups and downs. There were times where we felt like giving up. There was times where we just needed someone to reach out a kind hand. There were some unexplainable things that happened. When that unexplainable thing happened, you know something bad should have happened in that moment, but somehow, miraculously, something good came out of it. There was a blessing in what should have been a bad thing. When you needed a helping hand, there was a stranger that came and either left something on your doorstep with no acknowledgement, gave you a blessing as form as a tip, or took care of you in a way without calling attention to themselves, or maybe there was a moment where you didn't think you had any strength yet. Somehow in your spirit, something told you to keep going. See, those are God. That's God whispering to us. That's God putting his power display in our lives. That's God revealing himself to us. Yeah, we could say they're coincidences, but when you start stacking the coincidences upon one another, that's an awful lot of coincidences. What it really is God revealing himself to us, that he is powerful, that he loves us, he's for us, and he wants to help us, and he is worthy of our worship.